So somebody asked me about enlightenment. There is enormous amount of confusion, even in the spiritual field, because people gave a different meaning. What is, for example, the difference? If you ask somebody what is the difference between enlightenment, liberation, self-realization, the Great Awakening, I explained it in one of the chapters. But those are still words, they're vague hints only. It's a bit in a way of a conundrum. Basically, when somebody thinks in terms of enlightenment, or great liberation, self-realization, or whatever, one thinks automatically in the culture, oh, I will have more peace, I will have more love, I will have more wisdom, I will have psychic power, I will impress everybody else around me. I'll become immortal. But there is a little blind spot, there is a little trick. Enlightenment is not for John and Mary. Enlightenment is from John and Mary. Enlightenment is not from the personality, the individuality. Those are too limited. How can they ever become enlightened? They can only dissolve. There's a chapter in the Vijayapedia with passages from Hinduism, from Buddhism, from Christianity, from every source, saying that to reach enlightenment one must die. Not die physically, but die to oneself, die to one's ego, die to one's limitation, die to one's littleness and pettiness, die to one's desire, die to one's memories, die to one's sufferings, die to one's pleasures, to merge the infinite sea. Bussin said it very well, very clearly, no? In a very humorous way. He said, the individual wants liberation. Liberation from what? Liberation from the pain of being an individual. Ha ha ha. And then he said, can you understand why Bussin is laughing so hard? People think enlightenment is a stroll to the dance floor, no? Entering a beautiful garden, everything is well, no? But the process to get to it is certainly not easy, because the part of you is still identified with your self-image, with your ego, with your past, with your personality, apparent individuality. That part does not want to die, and they will fight you. Mother even warned, no? Be careful, Mother of Sri Aurobindo Ashram. The yoga is a fire which burns. So don't begin yoga if you are not very sincere. So when I was in the Sri Aurobindo Ashram, it's about 2,000 people, one or two a month went mad. You're accustomed to be in a body, no? You know by now, if you're listening to this, that you are not your body, at least mentally. But when you have a pain somewhere, you feel very much that you are in your body. So you have read, you have been told that you're not the body, you have believed it, and all is well, nothing happens. But when you don't even have to reach enlightenment, when you begin your way through it at a certain point, you will have a glimpse of who you really are. And who you really are doesn't have a body, doesn't have a form. You're lost in the void. There is infinity in every direction, above you, below you. There is nothing to hold to. There is a vague memory that you have a body somewhere. Maybe you can get back to it, but the first time, I suppose everybody I found it no less terrifying than to me. And I was expecting it. Don't think about it so much about enlightenment. Think about finding out who you really are, because who you really are is already enlightened. There's always been enlightened and will always be enlightened. Enlightenment is, everybody thinks, oh, is something far away, like in the Himalaya, I have to do much meditation, I have to do a long walk, a long journey. But there is nothing closer to you than your own self, who you really are, which is already enlightened. Even the Prophet Muhammad, in the Quran, he said, talking of the divine, is closer to you than your jugular vein. Mother put it another way, similar. She said, you must go very, very deep inside yourself and find a very important discovery, is that you do not exist. There is only one thing which exists, and this is the divine. So it's not a matter of achieving enlightenment, whatever way you conceive of it, it doesn't matter. Okay? Call it love, call it vision, call it ecstasy, call it beauty, call it harmony, call it vision, call it what you want. If you haven't experienced, you just smoke in the window, these words. So, what you have to do is the enlightenment is already there. You're already who you're trying to find. Yeah, there is a veil of attachment, a veil of memory, a veil of habit, of mental formations, programs in the computer of your brain. It is that you have eliminated. All the wisdom, all the spirituality of India is resumed in 3 words. Koam, Naham, Soham. Koam is what has been called the unanswered question, not because there is no answer, but because there is no answer at the mental level. Who am I? What happens after death? Is really there God? Which meaning are this world, this life? And Soham is who you really are. That cannot be described with words. In between the two, you have Naham. Naham is disidentification. I am not my body. I'm not my thoughts. I'm not my mind. I'm not my emotions. I'm not my memories. And then you'll begin to perceive that you're not yet awake. When you get up in the morning, it's your body who wakes up, not you. You're still sleeping in your thoughts, in your memories, in what you want to do, in what you're afraid of, in what you hope. So you have to accept that you're still asleep on only a little more coherent level than the dreams that you have when you're sleeping in your bed. And there will be moments in which you'll be out of the dream. And they will begin your first real path, the first real step toward enlightenment. They will not last at first. You fall back into sleep, into thoughts. But every time you remember, every time you get a little bit out of the dream of your life, every moment your mind shuts up a moment and look at the flower, at the child, at the bird, at the sky, without any thoughts, and feel presence, the divine presence all around you. Or just silent, that is enough, even if you don't feel the presence. That last, that is the only thing you can carry with you in your last life, in your next life. This little moment of silence, the little moment in which your psychic being was more on the surface, little teeny bits of enlightenment. But you're not enlightened is an illusion. is a false identification. That's all it is. Darkness has no quality of his own. It's the only thing in the universe which has no quality of his own. Darkness is only absence of light. It's like a veil between you and reality, between you and yourself, between you and divine. Yes, it's better not to describe enlightenment too much, no? Because then the mind will accept that description and imagine that he has the experience while he's just daydreaming, you know. Just get rid of the false, no? Just get rid of false identifications. What was seen in Ramana Maharshi in a different way, with a slightly different word, at a certain point said, just relax and all will be done for you. Just relax. It doesn't mean I forget spirituality, I see another movie and get another drink, I smoke another joint. No? Relax means surrender. Means knowing that you are guided, that you're destined for enlightenment. That is your inevitable destiny. One of the most beautiful things that touched me most from Mother of Sri Aurobindo Ashram is that she said, all that you like and all that is like, all you find good, all you find bad, all that make you suffer, all that you make you rejoice, and she keep repeating several times, all without exceptions, bring you inevitably to me as the divine, not to me, to her as a person. Brings you to me, and I am the light without shadow, the infinite peace, the perfect harmony, the certitude, certainty, the rest, and the supreme benediction. People see surrender. Surrender is the key of the yoga, is the key of enlightenment, abandoning your will, your apparent human will to the divine. It's like, in the West especially, people see surrender as a sacrifice. No? Oh, I will have to do without drinking, I will have to do without this, without that. It's not a sacrifice, it's a liberation. Is becoming free of all these things which possess us, our ideas, thoughts, desire, memories. It's unburdening. It's like if you've been walking in the sun, in the desert, with a heavy bag of rocks, your memory, your fears, and then you can let it go and have an oasis where there is shadow, there is water, there is music. It seems so insane, so absurd, so totally insane, no? That we could be now infinitely happy, joyful, at peace, no? And we keep sticking to our suffering, to our fears, to our doubt, to our uncertainty. It's like a drug addiction, and we don't let it go. Anyhow, if you're interested in enlightenment, first of all, find out who is interested in enlightenment. No? There are many personalities inside you. You're not one. You're made of many. You're not the same person with your parents, that with your child, if you have any, that with your lover, with your boss, with your workers. Why a moment you're sad and one moment you're happy? There are many sides in you. Who are you? Who wants to get enlightened? Concentrate on that, and the rest will come by itself. In the end, you will find out that there is no one who can get enlightened. There is only a false identification which can be dissolved, which can be erased. Delete, like you do on the computer. Then enlightenment is already there, but you're no longer there, because being a person is the opposite of being enlightened. trying to find out who you are. And enlightenment will come in its own time when you least expect it. Oh!